Welcome to RTF Sports Talk. I'm your host, Billy Hatten, Grand Hefe. Once again, joined as always by my co-host, Michael Buck Nasty. How you doing today, man?
Man, I am curled up in a blanket, hat on, jacket on, coveralls on, inside, heater at 80, and I'm still cold. It is negative 3 degrees outside, and it's only going to get colder. It is ridiculously cold.
Must be nice, man. I'm sitting outside with my robe on and my scarf, because it's kind of too cold in the office. I wake up everybody in here. Hey, man, we got a good show. It's been some, Super Bowl week since there been no football. News has been kind of slow, but things have kind of picked up here in the recent days in the NBA realm of things. So let's just get off into it. Klay Thompson, according to posted by Bleacher Report, but according to Woj, if the Warriors do not offer Klay Thompson a max contract, he can then, according to Woj, his attention could be turned to LA. So, do you think that there's fire here, or do you just think it's a bunch of smoke?
So, I think there is fire there. Like I've kind of tinkered around, like
you have
with the idea of Klay going to LA, and
I shot it down. I'm gonna be honest, and I shot it down.
Yeah, and you shot it down hard, and I was like, well, maybe Hatton's right, but this could very well be the beginning of the end of the Golden State Warriors that we've started to know over the last 5 or 6 years. Now, I'm not saying they are going to be bad by like any means, but they are going to lose a very, very vital part because people want to get paid. They are doing great things. They want to get paid, and Golden State can only offer so much money to their top four guys at the end of the day. And if Anthony Davis goes to LA, Klay Thompson goes to LA, they have to be the favorites in the in the West
in the NBA period, Mike.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah, and then Klay has that experience. He's gone to 3 NBA finals,
4 total.
Yeah,
4 total.
Yeah, and so he has the experience. LeBron has the experience, and then AD has the hunger. So that would be a very, very deadly, a very, very scary team if that comes to fruition, and just the more days pass, and the more that Cousins he does well, and KD keeps doing his his things, Klay Thompson is more than likely going to be the odd man out. So I definitely think there's fire to this story, and what better way to stick it to Golden State than to team up with LA and beat them?
Yeah, I'm right there with you, and to your point, I'm gonna give you credit another time. You have been on the Klay Thompson leave and go to State, and I've been saying why would he? Because he got rings. But Mike, you just brought up a really good point. And for him to leave, and that's, you said he's already been to this many finals, which is the reason why people take less money to go join teams, i.e. Anthony Davis, who can receive a 5-year, $240 million offer from the New Orleans Pelicans. There's a reason why he want to take a pay cut to go to LA, because he hasn't won a ring. And Klay Thompson's mind, I already have 3 rings, possibly going to have 4 rings by the end of this year. The first 3-peat since Kobe and Shaq to 3-peat. So do I really need more rings? Is having more rings really going to solidify my legacy? And in the case of Klay Thompson and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, the way that team is currently constructed, and Draymond Green, nobody really cares about their rings anymore, because most people think that because they have a great team that this is what they're supposed to do. So It's having 3 rings. Steph Curry got the same amount of rings as LeBron James. Do anybody think Steph Curry is a better basketball player than LeBron? No. So winning more rings, what is that going to do other than say you were just on a dynasty and y'all were supposed to beat everybody? like that's so that's a very good point on the Clay thing. So that could be a reason why he go. They also said if they are able to sign Anthony Davis, the Lakers that is, then that's when his sights will be turned towards the Lakers. And I think in the coming days, the trade deadline is February 7th. They have about another 8 or 9 days or so to get this Anthony Davis trade worked out. Because I do think, Mike, if this, even though the Celtics is not on his radar, if they can wait till the summer and they'll be able to keep Kyrie as well, I think his sights will be a little bit more suited on the Celtics. But I think his relationship with Rich Paul, LeBron's agent, his best friend, Clutch Sports, I think it's inevitable that he's going to go to the Lakers. That's just the belief. Well, so Clay, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Well, and also at the same time, we all have to understand that Anthony Davis really doesn't have much of a say if he gets traded into which team. It is all in the Pelicans' court.
Kind of. And I say kind of because you can be, and I know you've heard this on TV, and I didn't even think about it yesterday, but it could be a situation like Kawhi. It can be a situation like Carmelo Anthony, where they come out and say, I only want to sign for this team. So who is going to give New Orleans everything that they're asking for a guy that don't know whether or not he's going to resign? And he's already said he's not going to resign. In the case of Kawhi Leonard, that happened. But what did Toronto really give up? DeMar DeRozan and Jacob Porter.
True.
Portal. I mean, that's really nobody. Really, DeMar DeRozan is a good player, but is he a transcendent player? No, and that roster was already not winning in the first place, which is the reason why they fired Dwayne Casey after a 60-win season.
Yeah.
First round they were the number 1 overall seed in the East. That team was already not winning. So for them, it made sense for them to give up that to get Kawhi Leonard in hopes of winning one championship, But what other team is going to be willing to give up what the Pelicans are going to be asking for Anthony Davis, especially if he comes out and say, I only want to be on the Lakers? And that trend has already started because reports are saying he don't want to play for the Celtics.
You could be a team like, say, the Knicks, and then like you could send them the house, and then in hopes that he likes the team that much, and he can bring in a free agent like KD in there or Clay.
But that's not Anthony Davis. That's not Anthony Davis staying right now. If that's the case, why not bring free agents to New Orleans? I know it may be harder, but he's already expressed the interest. I only want to play for a winner. I like the statement that Rich Paul put out. He said Anthony Davis feels like he needs to go to a team that's championship made, that's about winning championships. The Knicks is nowhere near about winning championships. So yeah, they could throw the house at him and get him, and I'm sure New Orleans would be happy with that because they're not sending him to LA.
Right.
But you gave up, if you're the Knicks, you gave up all of your pieces for a guy that's going to turn around and go to LA next season.
But at the same time, if you are the Knicks, what are you really going to lose at the
you're going to lose everything because they don't have a lot. Be losing.
Well, yeah,
no, they don't.
Yeah.
But who do they have that New Orleans will say, yeah, man, that's better than Ingram, that's better than Lonzo, that's better than Kuzma, that's better than Josh Hart, that's better than a couple of the Lakers pick, or that's better than Tatum, that's better than Brown, that's better than Smart, that's better than Terry Rozier. The Knicks have nobody,
right?
No, even remotely good enough for the Pelicans to lose their guy to go pick up anybody from the Knicks.
You are 100% right there, but at the same time, it could also be the Pelicans kind of sticking it to AD just a tad bit, saying.
But they also want to win too, though.
Well, if they lose AD, do you think they are even in a 8 or 9 seed conversation?
Yes.
Still?
Yes, because right now you have Anthony Davis and nobody, and then if you get a combination of stars. Yes, I think they can slide into the 8th or 9th seed. Sacramento is right there in the 8th seed, if I'm not mistaken, or was there last week. So yeah, if and who does Sacramento really have? Yeah, Buddy Hield's a nice player, and De'Aaron Fox, these guys are nice. But if you're telling me I could have Terry Rozier, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, yes, I'm taking that without hesitation. Without hesitation. Right?
Before we move to the next topic, do you think LA is really going to give up those three large
Yes.
names for
Yes.
AD and for Hope to Clay
Yes.
to come to LA?
No. The hope isn't really for Clay. They only care about Anthony Davis. Klay Thompson would be the icing on the cake. You know, nobody from the Lakers organization or anybody who talked about the Lakers this year has been saying they've been selling out to get Klay. It's always either been Kawhi, Paul George, or Anthony Davis. They slipped on Paul George. He re-signed back with OKC. Then the focus shift to Kawhi. Then Toronto. The Spurs shipped him to Toronto, and then now it's Anthony Davis. It's always been these three guys. Everybody else has just been okay. Oh, that's good, you know. But these are always been their three main targets outside of LeBron, and now they have a chance to get them. They've already said that it doesn't matter which combination of young stars that they get rid of for Anthony Davis, they will do it. I mean, wouldn't you, Mike?
Yeah.
If you look at this Lakers team right now, do you think that LeBron and Kuzma and Lonzo and them, do you think they can get it done?
They could make a second round push, but past that, it'd be tough.
Well, if they run into the Warriors, I just think if you get rid of these guys now, especially if you're about winning championships now, you don't go pick up LeBron James to not win now.
Right.
He didn't come there for your 10-year plan. No, right. he come for right now. So if you got a chance to get a guy like Anthony Davis, who then could attract another free agent in the offseason, because now this team is looking much better. You have LeBron, you have Anthony Davis, and then another superstar is looking at it, maybe Bradley Beal. He's looking at it like, man, shoot, I go take less money to go over there. And Bradley Beal would fit in perfect because he can handle the ball, he plays defense, and he can shoot the three. So
all very great points here, and that is a perfect segue into Overreaction Tuesday. So, Billy Hatten, we are going to stick into the association and with AD, and this is an over-under reaction. Will the team so the team that lands Anthony Davis this season, does that team get into the finals in their conference?
I'm gonna go overreaction, Mike, and I'm only gonna say overreaction because if he does go to LA, which a lot of people are saying he will, I still don't think that team is better than the Warriors. They can probably push him a little harder now. Maybe it could go 7 games, but Steph, KD, Clay, that's too much. It's too much scoring on the floor. If he goes to the East, I think whatever team he goes to, I don't think he'll go to a sorry team. Will make the NBA Finals. But if he goes to the West, I just don't see that. So I'm sort of overreaction.
And I'm going to say that as a underreaction because a player that has never won a championship, getting on a team with LeBron James, with all those guys that like have rings, that makes them that much hungrier to get this young guy a ring and to kind of say, hey, we are here to like stay. So that will put LeBron James on a level that we saw when he went back to Cleveland in 2014
15 season.
Yeah. I really think they'll definitely push the Warriors and hopefully
but beat them. I don't see no team beating them four times right now with that roster that they have now and Boogie Cousins. I just don't see no team in the NBA currently constructed or that have a possibility of getting to or can be constructed. I don't see any of those teams beating them 4 times. I
am going to call this right now. Adam Silva suspends Draymond Green in Game 3.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay, next one. Over under reaction. Let's move back to the NFL since this is Super Bowl week. Antonio Brown is starting to get his name out in the trade mill and stuff like that. Over under reaction. Whatever team Antonio Brown lands on is a playoff team next year.
I'm gonna say not an overreaction, and that's because I think whatever team he goes to will make the playoffs. I think even if he goes to San Francisco, that NFC West division is not real tough, which is a team that a lot of people are leaning towards right now. They could still make it into the playoffs. The Seahawks is not that great of a team, and they won 9-10 games this year.
Right.
I think that could be the thing for the San Francisco 49ers. If everybody says Jimmy G is who they say he is, Kettle, their rookie tight end, made the Pro Bowl this year, and then you add a guy like Antonio Brown, all you need is a dynamic offense and a subpar defense. And with the defense alignment that's in the free agent market this year, they can grab one of those guys. They have the cap space. And in Cleveland, I've been hearing Cleveland could get to him. Yeah, I mean Cleveland won 7 games last year. Should have won 10. So for me, yeah, I think any team Antonio Brown go to, he can help get into the playoffs. That's 100+ catches and probably 8 to 12 touchdowns a year.
Yeah, and I am in the same boat you are. If he does land in San Francisco, which he has been saying that is where he wants to play, I believe he had an interview with Jerry Rice or somebody to that effect back from those teams from back in the day, saying that he wants to be a San Francisco 49er. And the San Francisco 49ers did not look that great this year, but let's be honest, the NFC as a whole did not look that great.
Well, the injury bug bit them big time.
True. But if you look at the other teams in the NFC, there's only really 3 teams you could probably check mark into the playoffs. That's probably the Rams, Saints, and the Cowboys.
And why would you check mark the Cowboys into the playoffs? Because history has shown that
they're hungry. They're hungry.
Yeah, they've always. History shows that it haven't been probably this year back-to-back division winners outside of last year and this year. The Cowboys is the first time that they've done that. But nothing points me in the direction that the Cowboys are a check mark. You look at what this team could have been with Jimmy G, and I don't think he's that great. But what I'm saying is he's what they needed. And he played well enough in those last 6 or 7 games at the end of the season for them to give him all of that money. He came back and got hurt, I believe, in like week 2. And from there, you all know in this league, if you don't have a quarterback, you're not going to win a lot of games. They went back and forth between 2 and 3 different quarterbacks, C.J. Beathard and Mullins. So next year, that team will be better.
Yeah, and I totally agree. Let's stay with the NFL here, and we're going to flash forward to Sunday afternoon or Sunday night. Over under reaction, the winning QB will win the MVP of the Super Bowl. Over under reaction.
I think it's not an overreaction. I mean, that's normally how it works. The quarterback is always normally the guy on the team that gets the most praise, and then Super Bowl victories, 9 times out of 10, they are the ones that get the Super Bowl MVP. Remember a few years ago, James White clearly probably should have been the MVP of that Super Bowl when they played the Falcons. Who did they give it to? They give it to Tom Brady. So, yeah, normally the quarterback is the guy that gets it unless he's playing with just some amazing talent, i.e. like when the Steelers won it and they gave it to Hines Ward. Right. Hines Ward was an icon. Unless it's something like that, and neither one of these teams have any of those players outside of the quarterback, I think the quarterback could get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's they kind of get it by default almost, and it's almost like a shame. But final over under reaction here, Billy. Your Duke Blue Devils won again last night. Zion scored his
Mike.
Of course, Zion scored his 9th 20-plus point game this season. Over under reaction. Zion finishes with 15 games with 20-plus more points.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's possible. Who can really stop him in
Dean
college
Wade,
basketball?
Dean Wade, Kansas
I don't
State.
see it happen. Same as who they play on Saturday. Look for another big performance. And then they play Boston College, who's not that great after that. Look for another one of those. And they play Virginia, which is a team that pushed them to the edge the last time. I like what Virginia have, which is the reason why when we did this preseason poll at the beginning of the year, Virginia was in my Final Four. And everybody see why now. The only loss coming to, of course, Duke. I mean, Louisville, NC State, and North Carolina. This is going to happen for the rest of the season. Who can stop Zion, as big as he is, as strong he is, from getting to the basket? And he's a really good free throw shooter when he gets to the line. So, yeah, easy.
Yeah, and I believe we are right about the halfway point in the NBA or in the NCAA season. And laws of average are telling me that he's going to end up with like 18 games with 20-plus points. And I think he might even go off and be 20 to 22 games with 20-plus points. If you guys have not seen this guy, just watch a full game of him. You are consistently on the edge of your seat, seeing what he is going to do next. Like, he is always pulling out a big dunk out of him. He's stealing, and he's running the open court. It's a very, very
and to
rare
be that big, Mike.
Yeah,
and to be that big, we're talking about a 680-pound guy.
Yeah, 280-pound guy. 680 pounds is ridiculous. But
yes, man.
but yeah, he is a LeBron James-esque guy and a high school kid's body. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. But switching back over to the NBA, or really this question could go for sports in general, NFL, Major League, NBA, doesn't really matter. And I seen a guy, Jason Whitlock, he said this yesterday on Speak for Yourself. He said that he's tired of seeing these players do their own thing, make their own teams, and all this other stuff, and that the owners should have more control. He would like to see the owners have more control. So, Mike, I ask you, do you think the owners should have more control in trading or releasing and whatever concerning players?
Well, if you want the owners to have more control, I mean, they pretty much control it anyways. They sign these guys to the team. If they don't like them, they trade them or they cut them. So like, yes, a player can say, I would like to go play for the LA. Does that mean that the ownership of LA has to sign this guy? No. So the owners have all the control that they have now. If you want to be successful and if you want to win, you have to listen to the players at the end of the day, and that is what these NBA owners are like doing, because I kind of feel like this question is directed towards them, because if you think about it, in the NFL, very, very few players say, I want to go play for this team, and they end up on that team. It's just, NFL doesn't quite work like that. It is the ultimate team game. So, like, you really don't have too many of those me, I type of players. Now, in the NBA, you can make a whole team, a whole franchise, a whole 5-6 year span of peer greatness with just two guys. So, as far as the owners having more control, I mean, they already have enough control, like, as is. So, like, I'm not for sure what he's trying to prove there by saying that.
Yeah, for me, I don't think the owners should have more control. To your point, they already got enough control. They sign the checks. They say, be here at this time on this day, and guess what? You're there on that time at that time on that day. So yeah, they get to release players, and it's always funny to me, Mike, because see, these guys say idiotic stuff like this, and they were once players and they were the same guys talking about that these owners got too much power. But
Right.
now that you're in the media, you're trying to play good boy, and now you wish the owners had more power, right? So what happens when an owner release a player? No warning, no anything, just release them.
Yep.
That's cool, right? What happens when an NFL or owner trade a player somewhere that he didn't even want to go and he want to be on your team? Nobody bats an eye. Nobody say, "Oh man, these owners, these players are getting treated unfairly." Nobody says that, Mike. DeMar DeRozan was told a week before he was traded, "You are safe. You are not going anywhere." A week later, he shipped off going to San Antonio. Nobody batted an eye. Nobody cared about that, right? But when a player says, I want to leave this team, I want to go play somewhere else. Oh, now loyalty is now his loyalty is put into question. I hate that. I hate it because it's so two-faced and it's so hypocritical that, as long as the owner did it, as long as the owner released him, as long as the owner traded him, that's fine. But the players came back out of their agreement, but the owners can. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and just to add to some points here, this reporter that you referred to here, like he says some of the most outlandish things 90% of the time. I honestly don't know how he is still on TV. He has bounced from ESPN to CBS to I think he's on FS1 now. It's just
yes.
I mean, it's just like he must be trying to be on just for clicks because he's just saying stuff to just troll. Like he is throwing stuff at a wall and like hopefully it sticks. And apparently
that made no sense.
Yeah, I mean this is utterly ridiculous. It is kind of like, why did the cow cross the street? Do you know why?
No.
To get to the other side.
You're just for clicks. Good job, Mike.
There we go.
Good job, Mike.
Beautiful.
Good job. All right, so that's going to be the end of today's show, Mike. I got a little rant here.
Let's have it, Billy. Let's have it, man.
And it's about this Anthony Davis situation, and this about the NBA investigation of the Anthony Davis thing. And I just have a problem with it, Mike, because I've been watching basketball for a little while now, and I've seen the NBA. They do their investigations whenever they see fit or however they want to do it, whatever. Between David Stern and Adam Silver, Adam Silver's been a little bit better about it. But when Carmelo Anthony asked to go to the Knicks, did they do an NBA investigation? Because I don't think they did.
No.
When Kyrie Irving said, "I'd rather have surgery than to play here, trade me, I don't want to be on this team no more," did anybody say, "Oh man, we need to look into that Kyrie Irving situation to see if we need to investigate, see if anything was going on with tampering here"? This is so childish, honestly, Mike. And this is and I'm going to put this to the LeBron hate. And I say that because a reporter asked LeBron about two months ago, "Would you like to play with Anthony Davis?" And he answered the question and he said, "Yes, of course I would like to play with Anthony Davis." Now, then the NBA said, "Oh, we're going to launch a mini investigation into LeBron because that's tampering." Now, Mike, your reporters are asking me a question, and you're telling me that if I don't answer the question, then now I'm going to get looked upon as, a guy who don't like the media. Oh, he's this and he that. When I answer the question, now you're going to say I'm tampering. If I just walk out of the thing, now I get fined for not meeting my media obligation. So the next night, LeBron comes to say, "Well, ask me some more questions. Ask me what I want to play with Kyrie or Luka," or, he started naming off these players. And it's like, how is it you can ask me a question and I answer it, and now I'm getting hit with tampering investigation, and a guy just comes out and say, I don't want to re-sign with the Pelicans. You give me the offer, I'm not going to re-sign. I want to trade. And they look at the Lakers for tampering. How, Mike? I'm truly confused on the way they do this, as if guys haven't asked for trades all year long.
or say,
J.R.
hey,
Smith
I
said
like
he
this
wanted.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, J.R. Smith said he didn't want to play for the Cavs. I ain't see no investigation.
No.
Okay.
Huh.
I'm just saying, Mike. It's ridiculous. It's truly ridiculous.
I
So
am shaking my head in agreement with you. That is crazy.
take us out of here, Mike.
You know what, guys? We're on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, Billy and myself will be going back on live on YouTube. We'll be doing the normal 30-minute show and then having a little after party afterwards, strictly on YouTube Live. You'll see our beautiful faces like on there. Feel free to answer us some questions. But we'll be back tomorrow, freezing our butts off in this negative 60-degree weather that we're supposed to be getting here in this polar plunge or whatever. I don't know what the heck it is. But we'll see you guys tomorrow. We out.